Hello fellow video game nerds, I'm glad to have your company today in this absolute dead zone for video game news because holy crap has there been absolutely nothing to talk about. The only thing going on is the coronavirus literally laying waste to every video game event in its path, including goddamn PAX and GDC. You know, a part of me feels like I should be maybe slightly concerned, but to be honest, I really don't give two shits. Let nature run its course, I say. Nihilistic thoughts aside, let's get into what I want to talk about today, or probably more accurately ramble about today as I normally do. But I'm talking about the way that games outlets have been choosing to report on and cover particular news stories that relate to the next generation of consoles. But there are a handful of stories that have been covered by games media that I just want to talk about because to me personally, it's not that it was strange to report on these stories, it's the way in which this news was covered that I found quite bizarre and honestly, to me at least, revealed a clear lack of knowledge of just the video game industry that clearly a lot of these professional writers just don't seem to have. Remember to like and subscribe for more irregular content like this. Let's jump to Exhibit A, shall we? The story that broke last week that I tweeted about because I thought it was so strange. A week ago, Microsoft revealed more details about Xbox Series X. They revealed specs for the console. To be honest, a lot of it's just a bunch of processor, teraflop, whatever nonsense that I personally don't understand, so the new Xbox may as well be a microwave for all I know. But the key aspect of this announcement, the key feature that they mentioned that was discussed I think probably the most, was smart delivery. And what this means is essentially, even though we've known for some time that these next gen consoles were going to have a focus on backwards compatibility, smart delivery is a feature that if you're playing something on the Xbox Series X, you're going to be playing an upgraded version of it if it's an older game. So the perfect example is, like CD Projekt Red tweeted, gamers should never be forced to purchase the same game twice or pay for upgrades. Owners of Cyberpunk 2077 for Xbox One will receive the Xbox Series X upgrade for free when available. So if you're buying a game this gen and you upgrade to next gen consoles and you put that game in, or you download the game again on that new console, you're going to be playing an upgraded version of it. And this will likely be the case for a wide variety of different games. And okay, to be clear, this is a cool confirmation. I said this on Twitter, it's cool, you know, that they're doing this obviously. It's obviously a pro-consumer move, I appreciate it. But my main issue with this news is the fact that everyone, CD Projekt Red, Microsoft, news outlets and fans and gamers alike, the frustrating thing is that this is absolutely nothing new. The concept of buying a game that was previously intended for another console and it being played on a better console and it being upgraded for free for that console, probably via an update or a patch or whatever, this is absolutely nothing new. Sony does this right now as we speak with PS4 and PS4 Pro. Microsoft does it right now as we speak with their Xbox One X enhanced versions of games. It's literally the same thing worded differently. And I have to say it's pretty clever on the part of the companies, I guess, to fool everyone to some extent because they've just worded this whole thing differently like I said, and now everyone's acting like, holy shit, this is an amazing feature. For any Xbox One X enhanced game, take Gears 5 for example, right? If you're playing that on the regular Xbox One or the Xbox One S, right now, you're going to be playing an inferior version to if you were playing it on the Xbox One X, but it is obviously playable across both of those consoles. It is literally the exact same concept here. The only difference is the perception on our part that this is a new generation, that, oh wow, it's amazing Microsoft is now doing this across generations. It's not only going to just be within the Xbox One family of systems, but now also include Xbox Series X. Isn't that cool? And yes, it is cool. And to be clear, I'm not shitting on regular gamers, on regular fans of Microsoft and PlayStation for discussing this, for being excited about this. This isn't what this is about. I'm not saying that every man and his dog should be an expert on how Microsoft and Sony currently run their console business at all. It's totally cool if you thought that this was cool news and you didn't know what I'm telling you. That's totally fine. I'm mainly, I guess, targeting, I don't know if I want to word it that way, I don't really feel like I'm targeting anyone, but I guess this is directed at just games journalists and people that are apparently professionals in this industry, who either have no idea what they're talking about or just were kind of stupid on this one. Outlets continue to report about this like it's big news. They continue to speculate about it in terms of how it's going to affect next gen. They continue to think about, will this be something that works with PlayStation 5? Will Sony adopt this consumer-friendly model, etc.? Guys, they're doing it right now. And look, I'm not trying to expose anyone. I'm not trying to be a dickhead. I'm just simply pointing out something that I don't feel nearly enough people have pointed out. So with that in mind, I'll be shocked if Sony doesn't continue doing this like they already do it. It makes perfect sense if I buy Cyberpunk 2077 on PS4 when it comes out. If I then put it in on my PlayStation 5, I get a free patch which then supports high resolution, high frame rates or whatever. Makes perfect sense. Right now, Sony first party games do this. I believe Uncharted 4 was one of the first ones. I could be wrong about that, but Uncharted 4 right now, if you put that game in your PS4 Pro, it's going to be upgraded compared to the PS4 version. You don't have to buy a PS4 Pro version of Uncharted 4, so why the hell would you have to buy a PS5 version? Especially when the consoles are backwards compatible. And in general, that's another thing I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot of outlets continue to talk about, will there be remastered versions of games on PlayStation 5? Will The Last of Us Part 2 get a remastered PS5 edition? Guys, Sony announced months and months ago that backwards compatibility is real. You know what that means? Remasters are redundant. There's no reason to remaster games. There's going to be no remastered editions of Sony first party games, I can guarantee it, because guess what? You can just play them natively, which is something that has never been possible on PS4, hence why remasters were necessary in that case. That's the only reason that The Last of Us Remastered on PS4 exists. God, I sound like I'm getting riled up, don't I? Jesus Christ. I promise you I don't care that much. Another story that broke over this past week, which did kind of crack me up honestly, was that Square Enix will not be releasing next-gen exclusives for a few years. The president of the company said the next generation consoles will have backwards compatibility. No shit, so we plan for the time being to make our new titles available for both current and next generation consoles. It will therefore be somewhat farther down the road that we release titles exclusively for the next generation of consoles. Okay, great. Awesome. Thanks my man. Like, this, how is this news? Like, I just don't get it. Are we this news deprived? Like I said, don't get me wrong, I'm feeling the wasteland that is gaming news right now, but holy crap, I guess everyone else is too. How is it anything new that a publisher decides not to publish games exclusively for a next-gen console as soon as that next-gen console comes out? Hey guys, do we not remember how Activision continues to publish Call of Duty games for the previous gen of consoles for years afterwards? EA does the same thing for all their sports games. Hell, Square Enix did this exact same thing last generation. They released Thief on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One as well as PS3 and Xbox 360 in 2014. They did the same thing for The Amazing Spider-Man 2. They did the same thing for Rise of the Tomb Raider with an Xbox 360 version of that game. I don't understand with this idea that, oh, as soon as next gen comes out, holy shit, every game is just exclusive to next gen. That has never been the case. Why would anyone think it was going to be the case? It doesn't make much sense to me. I swear to you, I honestly don't care that much. I guess it's just all my passion about talking about video games has been building up for the last few weeks to lead to this moment, because holy crap, I really haven't been able to talk about anything else. Anyway, please tell me, please let me know in the comments, I beg you, if you think I'm totally off base, if you think I'm missing the point, if there's something I'm not understanding here. And I'm not saying this in a satirical sense, I'm not trying to be a smartass at all. I genuinely want you to tell me if you think there's a genuine argument on the other side of this that I'm not seeing, that I'm not understanding. Because I just don't get it. That's it. I just don't get it. Anyway, to sign off, like I said last time in the last video, at this point, just please wake me up when Sony finally says something interesting about PS5. Until then, I'll be in hypersleep. Farewell.